Hey, welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. My first guest, been here a bunch of times. He's one of the most talented comics ever. I really believe that. I first saw this guy in like '93 at Stand Up New York, and he blew me away. Really funny, and can do anything. Regular stand-up. Also happens to do about 48 of the best impressions you've ever heard in your life. SNL for like a record amount of years. He's a good man. Our friend Darrell Hammond. What's up, buddy?
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm all right. Can we plug Crack House to White House?
You want to get right into it? Well, your book is out, which I read. What is the name of your book?
God, if you're not up there, I'm effed.
And I actually have
which was a prayer I had. I was in a Caribbean jail and I didn't know any prayers, but I knew I had to pray.
A Caribbean jail. That's right. Well, that beats me. I was in a parish jail.
Because when you're in there, I mean, and nothing can be done for you, and there's feces on the floor, and it's dark, and it's summer, and you're in chains, and they got you. You're like, wow. Maybe there's. I was like, maybe there's a. I hope there's a God.
Yeah, right.
I really hope there's a God, and if you're not there, and if you're not paying attention, and if you don't care about what happens here, I'm effed.
But clearly you're here. Everything worked out.
Well, that's the thing. He didn't mind the profanity. He went ahead. He sprung me anyway.
See, sometimes I go when I'm in trouble like that. I hope there's not a guy.
Yeah,
he'd be mad at me right now. But well, you're doing a show where you're going to tell some stories from the book.
I'm going to tell stories from the book and play all the parts. And
it's going to be at Caroline's. January the 15th. That's a week from tonight.
A week from tonight. Crack House to White House and everyone that I met there.
Crack House to White House and everybody you met there. I can tell you that the combination of you performing your book is going to be very entertaining because you're a great performer and the book's amazing. I think it's a home run.
Well, I do it on the lecture circuit now. For William Morris. Yeah, I go out and I do these lectures. And I tell stories from. That's really all I do is tell.
That's amazing.
And then play all the parts.
Now, do you infuse comedy into the lectures even, or?
Oh yeah. I mean, my stories are so bizarre. I mean, most of them are funny.
Right.
There's just a few of them that are a little bit poignant. But
some of mine are so messed up where you have to tell the people, like if you're telling them afterwards on a talk show or stand-up. People go, look, it's all right to laugh. I want you to laugh. I'm doing this as comedy.
Yeah, and
some of it's so dark they go, God, and we can't laugh at it.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff, even when I go out on the lecture circuit, like I just did this mental health group at the University of Florida, and it was like a huge deal. It was mental health professionals and students and faculty and all that. And, I didn't say some of the stuff. I'm not going to say some of the stuff. I'm not going to say what my mom did. I didn't even say what my mom did to me. I just told the story about stuff I did and the good parts and stuff that I thought was funny. Right. I don't want people to hang themselves.
No, you got to have it. Well, at the ending, here's the thing. It has an automatic built-in happy ending because you're standing there telling the story. You're here.
It ends with my face on the Jumbotron at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, so that's how it all worked out.
Which is the way the book ends, yeah.
Right. Now, okay, so, January 15th, next Wednesday, maybe I'll try to stop by.
I really, really, really wish you would.
Maybe I'll open up or something, tell a few things.
That would be amazing.
Hopefully we could do that. I'll let you know more about that. But it's Caroline's, January the 15th, a week from tonight, Crack House to White House.
And everyone that I met there.
And everyone that you met there. Now, you were on Saturday Night Live for, 14 years?
Yes.
That's got to be a record, right?
Yeah, it's a record.
And I was there the last night you were ever on the show. I came to meet Norm, and because he was doing a guest spot, and they were nice enough to invite me on the stage for the goodbyes.
Yes, I remember.
And they put me in some sketch where I was singing with Will Ferrell. It was really odd.
Yeah, it was a cool sketch though.
It was
really a funky piece.
It was a fun thing to be in. Yeah. And you were there, and I remember it was like you said goodbye, and Will said to the camera, it's Darrell's last show. And I didn't realize that. And I'm standing next to you, and I'm going, God, there should be like a parade down the block for this guy.
Yeah, I mean...
Are you upset they didn't have a bigger situation for you? Like, I hugged you. I was like, man, that's pretty, it's a monumental thing.
I'd say after my second year, I stopped asking questions about, I don't know how they run the place. I don't know how they do that.
You just showed up and did your job.
I did, and I was grateful for a job.
Right.
And they run it. I mean, I don't know how to run that place.
Right. It's got to be. I think the problem is only one guy does.
Yeah, that's
Lorne.
right.
And he's not telling anybody
There's
the secret.
kind of a mystery at the heart of it, and I don't know. I don't know why they didn't give me a send-off, but whatever. Will did, and he's my pal, and that's cool.
Yeah. Now, were you close with? Well, you started in '95.
Started with Will, and yeah, in '95.
That whole cast, Sherry O'Terry and everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the year we started Mad TV. It was the same year.
Yeah.
And everyone thought SNL was a goner at that point.
Yes.
And you guys came in and just, kicked some. I remember the first time I saw you do Ted Koppel, man. I was like, wow.
Thank you.
Because I knew you were a great stand-up, but I didn't know about the impression.
Well, I wasn't even doing impressions on my stand-up, but that's what they. When I auditioned for SNL, they were like, "Do you do any impressions?" And I'm like,
well, I happen
to have some, yeah.
Yeah, well, yell out a number between 1 and 50.
Yeah, and when I did impressions, they were like, "Okay, that's what you're gonna do here. If you want to work here, that's what you're gonna do."
Right. See, at Mad TV, when you did a sketch and you got laughs, you got rewarded in a sense where for at least that week, people were like, "Okay, we're gonna try to write for you." Because if someone's not writing for you, you don't get in. You got to write for yourself, basically.
Yeah.
But I get the idea because I know so many guys who've been over there, and having met Lauren a couple times, and worked for him in a different capacity, that you don't get that reward there, right? If you get laughs, they kind of mind F you.
What do you mean?
Like if you kill in a couple of sketches one week, you got to go back and just do even better to get acknowledged. You know what I mean?
NFL.
Yeah. What have you done for me lately?
NFL, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And maybe that's good because it keeps people hungry, but.
It's like you just won your big playoff game, and next week you're playing in Seattle. All right, you're back in that dome where you got your ass kicked before, and it's going to be the same, and you won't be able to hear your team can't hear you call signals.
Because like the first time I saw you do Jesse Jackson, we got up there. So I was like, I said, okay, after doing that, there's a parade for him every day when he goes in there. It's the greatest. I just killed his Jesse Jackson.
I mean, it's you get kudos and all that and back slaps, but then Monday it's like, well, you got to do it again.
Right.
Something else and do something new,
Both me and you have dealt with comedians and actory types, like sketch comedy. It's hard coming from the world of stand-up.
Yeah. Because
you got all those guys from the Groundlings, Second City, and now Upright Citizen Brigade. They're not stand-ups. They're performers, like improv sketch guys.
Yeah.
And dealing with them is harder than stand-ups. Because stand-ups look right at you and say, F you. They don't like you.
Yeah.
They're rooting against you. But I think the actors smile when they're saying it.
Yeah.
Secretly backstab you. Did that happen there?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard stories about it, but I was such a field goal kicker, a specialty teams player.
Right.
I mean, it was
a go-to guy.
It was like, you know what? I think you do this really good, and if you want to work here, that's what you'll do, and then we'll tell you when we want you to do it.
Right. Was there ever an impression you turned down? You said, listen, or you try everything?
I did President Bush because I couldn't, Will Ferrell had been
he did him, right.
a hit.
Right.
And plus, I'm very fond of Will personally, and it had been such a big hit. And then they wanted me to play it in the similar vein in which he was not intelligent.
Right.
And I didn't believe that to be true. And
so you were offended by it?
Not offended.
That takes guts, like sort of.
No, I was like, you know what? It's not in me. I don't see it. I'm sorry.
Right.
I mean, I know there's something else there. I know there's a reason he makes these verbal gaffes.
Right.
But he's also super good talking about the war on terror.
He's not retarded, yeah.
There are other times he's super smart, and I know but it's not that he's nuts. That was my personal vision. And
that's interesting. You took that take on it. Yeah, the only time I ever did that once, we were doing. They wrote a Bob Dole sketch.
Yeah.
Mad TV, when he was in the election in '96, and the whole sketch was making fun of his arm. And I actually said to myself, listen, guys, there's a bunch of stuff maybe you can make fun of a guy's politics, but he got that injury fighting in the war.
Yeah.
In World War II, he was a fighter pilot, and he gets his arms messed up, and he can't use it. That's the one thing we're making fun of. I mean, can we give the guy a break there?
Yeah.
People don't care.
And honestly, I don't want to do. I mean, Will invented that.
Right. And he was hilarious.
And it was a smash hit.
Right.
I mean, I want to do his thing.
And you did Gore and Cheney.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't insubordinate or anyone was mad at me.
Right.
I was like, I'm not seeing it, and I'd rather, it's not gonna. I'm not right for this, and I'm just telling you, I'm not right for it.
Sketch is it's like a boot camp. When I got the job by you do 5 characters, you do 5 impressions, and a couple of improv things. Where you get the job, and in the first week they handed me all these cassette tapes. Said, listen to this. You're in this show. You're Newt Gingrich. You're Pauly Shore. You're Joe Pesci. Here's their movies. And I'm like, oh my God, who's talented enough to do this? You are.
That happened to basically what it was like. I mean, I was sit in my office and wait. And
Yeah.
people would come in or they wouldn't come in.
Well, you always delivered, man. It was great. Well, we're going to take a break. Talk more with Darrell, a friend of the show.
Steroid Story and Crack House to White House.
Caroline's, January the 15th, a week from tonight, Crack House to White House.
And all the people I met.
And all the people you met on the way. And Darrell will be, that night I'll be reading from the book, telling stories from the book, doing some stand-up. I may show up, guys, because I have a similar book. It might be fun.
I'm begging.
Yeah, okay. Back after this, Artie Lange Show, AshleyMadison.com Studios, John's favorite.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.